every even year, so I did this in 2024 and previous years, but every even year I go on a year-long book buying ban, which is very exciting that it is now 2026. I know, like, I'm excited for the book buying ban, but it's kind of fun for me because it helps me slash allows me to really focus on my own TBR. I feel like in today's world, like, we get bombarded, and partially like this is just social media and how trends go, but we get bombarded with like things to buy, and I am definitely a sucker for a good book haul. And I will watch those book hauls and then I'll be like, I need those books as well. Like, I also need that. Thus, a problem has started for me where I buy too many books and don't have the time to read them all. So I do a year-long book buying ban where I, just for 1 year, have to have a ton of self-control. There are stipulations to my book buying ban, but for the most part, I am able to really focus on my TBR, my physical TBR, and it's wonderful. I try really hard to utilize the library as much as I can. For instance, if there's a new release and I really want to read it, then I will try and go to my library. However, my library is very, very small, and I'm from a very small town. And so it is not always the easiest to get access to newer books or newer releases because 9 times out of 10, there's only one copy, and 9 times out of 10, somebody's already gotten it. So yeah. So there are stipulations. There have to be stipulations to the book buying ban because circumstances arise. One stipulation that I allow myself is if I cannot get the book club book, so I'm in a couple book clubs. If there's a book that's chosen and it's a newer release and I cannot get it from my library, then I will go ahead and order it online or go into the store and grab it. But that is one of the only ways I can spend my own money on getting a book, is if I'm not able to get it from the library and I need it, obviously, for a book club. The book club that I have started in my Discord server, we read certain amount of chapters and then we talk about those chapters every single week in the Discord server through voice chat. And so we have a voice channel and we talk about the chapters. So I cannot just like wait for the book to come at the very end of the month and like try and read it as quickly as possible because I'm participating in those voice calls. So with that, that is the first stipulation. That's one of the reasons why I would allow myself. I'm sorry if the lighting is like unreliable as well, because I currently have a lantern in front of me because I don't have a ring light and it's 10 o'clock at night. So while I'm filming this, so it was the only time I got a chance to film it with like the holidays and all that stuff that happened. So I apologize. I'm trying to not move too much so that the light stays consistent, but we're trying really hard here. Anyways, so that would be the only reason why I would buy a book with my own money, is if I couldn't get it and I needed it for a book club. I'm in another book club, and again, we meet weekly, but it's a little different because a lot of people in there just read audiobooks, and I typically can get the audiobook from my library because they're not like newer releases. It's just like a bunch of dudes, really, who read sci-fi books. And so I'm one of the only girls. I think I am the only girl actually in that book club. And they just read like sci-fi books, but it's like older. Do you know what I mean? Oh, actually, we read Project Hail Mary in December, in the beginning of December. And that one, because it's being turned into a movie, is gaining a lot of traction. And I went to go get it, the audiobook from my library, and it said it would be available in 2 years. So I was like, oh, I cannot wait 2 years for this book. So I went ahead and bought it. But yeah, for the most part, I think with that specific book club, I'm usually able to get it at the library like most of the time. I would say 96% of the time I'm able to get out of my library. There's been a few instances where I've had to go out and buy the book, but not that big of a deal. So that would be my first, sorry, I'm moving. That would be my first stipulation is if it's for a book club and I'm not able to get it, the one for my personal Discord, it tends to be newer releases that we're choosing because we're trying to pick a book that nobody's read. And so we tend to kind of focus on newer books or like books that are not super popular. Like we try not to get very popular books in there because typically people have already read those newer releases or like not super popular books. That tends to be the vibe. Anyways, like this month we're reading The Hobbit, which surprisingly no one had read in our Discord server, which was very shocking. If you ever join the Discord server, you will understand like the people that are in there. You're like, really? You guys haven't read The Hobbit? That would be my first stipulation. Once again, I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat myself. That would be my first stipulation. The other stipulation, which is what I had last year as well, is if I have a, what is the word? Gift card. I keep forgetting what the word for gift card is. Anyways, if somebody gives me a gift card now in 2023, when I went on the book buying ban for 2024, I specifically asked for gift cards for like my birthday, for Christmas, for like any holiday. I specifically asked for gift cards and then I just like hoarded those until it got to 2024. And then I did a bunch of shopping with those gift cards. I had a very large amount of gift cards. People really listened, okay? They really listened and I got quite a few gift cards. So I was able to get a pretty decent amount of books with those gift cards. It got a little out of hand at times, but for the most part, it was pretty good. So that was nice. And then also throughout the year, people were giving me gift cards like randomly. Like they were like, oh, hey, here's a gift card. Another stipulation is Pango books. I do sell books on Pango. I did recently an unhaul. I am still uploading books to my Pango list because I unhauled over 90 books and it's taking me so long to get all of those books up because I only have so much limited time and I'm trying to do it when I have good lighting, so in the morning. And unfortunately, I just don't have that much time in the morning. So it's been kind of a struggle over the holiday. I'm hoping that starting in the new year, because the holidays will be over, I will be able to do it a lot easier. But that's just me hoping and dreaming. And, you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not sure. But I'm thinking that it should be at least a little bit easier for me to get everything up there. I'm thinking it will. It's very difficult because I also originally I was just like, oh, I'm going to put everything for $5. But there's like a lot of books on there that I was like, oh, people are selling it for like $2. Well, I don't want to put it up for $5 then. Like I'll put it up for like $1. And so I've been trying to figure all of that out. And it's just like a lot of like going and checking out how people have sold this book previously or like how it, you know, like all of that stuff. So it just takes me a long time to get everything up. I've been trying to at least do like 10 books at a time and get those up. So Pango money does not count as real money. I'm counting it as a gift card essentially because I don't transfer the money. I just buy books off Pango and I feel like that's supporting other people. So I am justifying it. I am going to say that Pango money does not count as real money. So whatever I do in sales, if I turn around and purchase a book off of Pango with the Pango bucks, then that's okay with me. So that's another stipulation. Last year in 2024, I also had a stipulation of if there was like a special edition book that I probably was not going to have the opportunity to purchase again. I'm not going to do that in 2026 because I really, truly, truly am just not a big fan of special edition books anymore. Like I'm kind of over it. I'm over like collecting first editions. I'm over collecting special editions. I just want the book. Like I just want the book. I just want to read the book. I don't care where I got the book from, and I don't care what the book looks like. I just want the book. Now, there are some that I did go out and purchase multiple copies of the book, but that's because it's my favorite book. Like, I have tons of copies of Twilight because I love that saga. I love that saga. I love those books. They're some of my favorite books. And so, yeah, I have multiple copies of it. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. But also, like, I feel like there's too many special edition books for books that I'm not obsessed with. I think I watch Twilight maybe once a month. That's like very bare minimum. I'm super busy that month. Like, I probably watch it way more than that, but I watch Twilight quite a bit. And then I love the books. And so I don't know, like, that to me seems like it's okay to purchase multiple copies of. Other books that I have purchased multiple copies of, the Belladonna series. I have the US edition of the Belladonna series, and I also have the UK edition. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really like the UK covers way better than the US covers. Like, I just really do. I also really, really, really love the series. And I just finished Holly, like, not too long ago. I finished it. Oh my gosh, that book was so good. Such a good novella. And it left on, you know what, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of any other reasons why I would have a stipulation. I think that's pretty much it for, like, the stipulations of, like, okay, I would buy a book for this case, this, like, scenario. So for the most part in 2026, I'm going to try and focus on my physical TBR. If there is a book that I need to get, I'm going to try first the library, and worst case scenario, I will go out and purchase it. If I can use a gift card, even better. If I can use Pango bucks, even better. But if I can't, if I'm like, this is like absolute worst case scenario, if I'm not able to, then I will go ahead and just purchase it. So there is that. Those are really my only, and then one more. Sorry. I have a book of the month subscription. I'm going to keep that subscription and utilize that as well. I think Book of the Month is pretty good subscription. It's my only subscription that I've been consistent with. It was the only one that I genuinely appreciated and liked, and I feel like the books are pretty good. I like a lot of the literary fiction, and I like that they do debut authors. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have a code for them, but I do like what they are doing with their platform. So I'm about that life, and I will probably continue that subscription. As I did with 2024, I'm not going to start any new subscriptions with, I'm sorry, hold on. Our cat is in the bedroom, and she's trying to get out. She's like so angry. That's funny. Anyways, so those are my stipulations. The Book of the Month thing, I really like Book of the Month. There's so many people that have a code, like literally pick another booktuber and they will have a code. So those are my stipulations. In 2026, I haven't done the journal spread yet, but I do plan on doing a journal spread for, somebody actually dropped this in the comments of I think it was the reading journal for 2026. I think it was that video, but somebody dropped a suggestion saying that I should track my library reads and see how much money I actually save by not buying outside books. I thought that was such a genius idea. So I'm going to do a library spread in my journal, and I'm also going to do a clear the cart spread, which I will explain more in another video because that is going to be a very long video. So I'm going to do that. I was going to do that for this video, but I just don't have time to do that right now. It's like late at night. It's 10 o'clock at night. So I just don't have time right now to film that, but I will film it, and it will be coming out shortly. I will probably film it this week and try to get it up for you guys on Thursday. Along with my book buying ban, I also try to do like a finance reset so that I can go through our finances. There's different things that I do when I buy books. I try really hard not to buy books at full value. I don't know how to say that, but like I just can't afford spending $30, $35, $40 sometimes. Like I have a book right by me, and I actually got this book at BJ's, which is like it's very similar to Costco, but it's called BJ's Warehouse, I think. And this BJ's actually does really nice when they are selling their books. I also get like coupons on the app, so it's pretty nice. And I actually got this using one of my coupons. And so I had it, and it was 15% off. Plus, I don't know if Costco has books. Sam's Club does, but I don't know if Costco does, but you can get these at a discount. So it's nice. So it was already marked down 30%, and it was like a new release. So it's marked down 30%. Plus I got an additional with my coupon. So this was originally $25. I'm pretty sure I spent somewhere around $12 to $15 for this. I don't remember the exact price, but I did not pay full price for it. And that's the thing, is that I just have a hard time. And this could just potentially be my age. Like I understand inflation. I'm not like, I understand like inflation happens. I understand supply and demand happens. I also understand that reading boomed in 2020 and publishers absolutely took advantage of that. So I do understand and I do get it. However, I am just not in a financial position where that is feasible for me, which is why when my library does those 10-cent bargain deals, like it's like a basement, you go into the basement and they're 10-cent books, like everything is 10 cents and it just gets donated to the library. And so that's why I kind of go ham at those sales, because sometimes you can find some really great finds, but like otherwise my library would be so expensive. Like it would just be so expensive and I just would not be able to sustain that. Possibly if I was single, definitely not with a child. So it's just not going to happen. I also really love thrift books. I love thrift books. I think it's just like so great and wonderful. I've talked about them before, but thrift books is like, it comes in so like it comes in clutch at times. You know what I mean? Like you can get books there for such a good deal. I also love Pango books. Like Pango books is just as wonderful of a platform because you can get books from like other people and they like take pictures of the books. You can see like the condition and all that stuff. Like that's amazing. I love that. So I try to utilize those as much as I can when I'm buying books. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, there was a spread. Yes. So I'm going to do a spread in my journal of like all the books that I get from the library to see like how much money I would have spent if I had paid full price for those books, to really see like what I'm saving, which I think is such a good idea. Like that's so fun. I don't know if it's fun, but I really like that. I think that's such a good idea. Also, I also think that it'd be nice to see exactly how much I am utilizing my library and like trying to get books from there instead of buying them or whatever it may be. I also want to talk a little bit about my plans for 2026 and the book apps that I plan on using. I'm going to have a little thing on the screen here. So let me just get to the side. One of the apps that I do plan on using is called Focus Friend. And it's this really cute app. And it's like a little bean. I named him Bogart. Basically, if you use the focus thing, you get so many socks. And with that, like you can decorate and all of this stuff. It's really fun. It's so cute. I just like it. I really like it. So sorry, I'm trying to look at the app while I'm telling you about it so that I can like give a better, oh, did I move this? Another app that I plan on using is called Bookly. I had used this prior, but I don't actually know if I'm going to use Bookly. I don't know. It's one of those apps that I had used previously and I really did like it. But really what I just liked about it is the stats. However, you have to pay for Bookly and I just don't know if I want to. So it's $30 for the year. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I may or may not use Bookly. I haven't decided yet. But one of the apps that I do use quite frequently is called Reading List. And I really like Reading List because it has all of my physical books on there. It also has all of my finished books on there. And then like any book that I read this year. And then also, or ever, I think. Yeah. It's just like all the books that I've read. And then also you can like organize and like have these like folders, which is pretty cool. And then it also has like stats on there. So I thought that was really awesome. I really like Reading Lists. Like I just really like it. I think it's pretty cool to just see everything that's available on that as a feature. I like that if you go to upload books, if you just hit the plus sign, you can search online, scan the barcode, which is really fun. Like just scanning barcodes. That's awesome. The other app that I plan on using is Goodreads. I am gonna try and use it for the full year and like really utilize it because I also want to compare it to Storygraph, which is the other one that I plan on using and utilizing this year. I want to use Storygraph. I want to also use Fable. I hear such good things about Fable, and I actually watched an entire, like YouTube video on Fable just to like see, what the hype was about. And I've seen people promote it as like an ad, but I'm going to be honest with you, like those ads do nothing for me. I usually skip over them whenever they're like, this video is sponsored by, like, I'm like, no, girl, bye. And I usually fast forward. But I saw somebody do a video about all the apps that they had used for a year, and Fable was one of them. And they did an actual deep dive. Sorry, I dropped my nail polish. They did an actual deep dive on Fable and like all of the things that the platform offers. And I was actually impressed. So I do want to also try out Fable. I think the one downfall is that it's only for your phone. There is no desktop app. And I think that is kind of my downfall there because I don't like using my phone. I prefer to sit down at a computer if I'm going to type out an entire review, if that makes sense. Like I don't want to type on my phone. I'd much rather be more comfortable and use a keyboard. So that's kind of a drawback. If Fable is on iPad, like if I can get it on my iPad, that might be okay. I might be able to do that because I think that would be better because my iPad has a keyboard. The other book platform that I also want to utilize is called Bookmori. And Bookmori is pretty cool because you can add books, you can add like a book calendar. It'll track your reading streak. It's got stats. It's got annual stats. It's pretty nice. And it also has like collections and stuff like that. So you can like categorize your books. So I also want to use Bookmori. I had used it quite a bit last year and the beginning of this year. And then I'm not really sure what happened, but I just kind of stopped. Like full stop. So those are really just like the reading tracking apps that I really want to use in 2026. And I will update you every month on how those are going. And just let you know, like, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. I like the Focus Friend because I really want to focus on my reading in 2026. Even if I can just read like a sentence a day, I would be so happy with that. But I'm going to try and shoot for 10 pages a day, which does not seem like a lot. So I am going to try for 10 pages and see if I can just read more in general. We really want to be reading in 2026. Probably most of my reading will be happening after my child goes to sleep, but still, it's going to be good. It's going to be great. And I'm pretty excited for 2026. So I would love to know what are some of your goals. If there's any book apps that you guys use on the regular and that I haven't named and you're like, oh, you would love this app actually, like you should definitely look into this one, please drop those down below. I'm super interested in all of those. I think 2026 is going to be the year that I kind of utilize reading apps to maximize my reading. Bookly does a really cool thing where it tells you your reading pace. I don't know if that's necessary. Honestly, when I had Bookly and I utilized that feature of figuring out what my reading pace was, I felt like I wasn't enjoying the book because I was trying to get a good reading pace to be impressive to myself. So I just felt like it became a competition, and I didn't enjoy that feature that much. It made me too competitive. So to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to use Bookly in 2026. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, is that something that I need? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just use Bookmori and that'll be that. Is there anything else that I would be utilizing in 2026 as a book app to encourage me to read? Because honestly, that's what it comes down to, is I want to be encouraged to read. Like, my daughter and I, we read a lot. I'm reading her books to her, and she loves that. And that's fun and that's great. And I want to nurture that passion for her to read. But the thing is that I feel like sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'm online and I see people and it's discouraging to read, if that makes sense. Like, I'm being discouraged. And so I want to be in a more positive space and a more positive mindset. And so in 2026, I am allowing myself to DNF a lot more. I'm also allowing myself to have my own opinion on a book. I feel like there's been times where, because everybody else loved the book, I felt like I had to give it props, where maybe it was just an average book for me. Like, maybe I just didn't like it. Maybe it didn't click for me. Maybe it didn't vibe. It took me so long for me to realize I get so uncomfortable. And when I get uncomfortable, I get so frustrated and overwhelmed and overstimulated when I read books with smut. And it's not just the smut, it's the heavy spice, it's the thoughts, it's the innuendos. They make my skin crawl. And it's okay for other people to read that. I think it's fine. If that doesn't bother you, then that's fine. But because it bothers me in such a physical manner, like, so it's so evident when I'm so uncomfortable reading a book, like I'm squirming, my skin gets itchy. It's almost like I have like a literal allergy to it. Like, my skin gets itchy, my neck gets blotchy. I feel like just frustrated in general. Like, I'm just like upset. And I try so hard to just like skim over those things and like skip those pages. It just is not, because the second I see it, like the second I see a line, I immediately go into like, this makes me want to throw, like, I'm not comfortable. It took me so long to be like, hey, I'm just not going to read those. Like, I'm just going to stay away from those books. And so people would like constantly be like, oh, you should read this, you should read that. And I wanted to, because I wanted to read what everybody else was reading. And I've come to this conclusion, and it's embarrassing how long it took me to come to this conclusion, but I've come to this conclusion that I'm not going to read what everybody else is reading all the time. It's not going to be constant. It's not going to be every single time that I'm reading a book that everybody else is reading. Like, I really, really, really want to read Sky Shade because I really liked Lightlark and I really liked Nightbane. But somebody told me that Sky Shade is not the same and that there's actually a lot more spice. And that makes me nervous going into it. So this might be a series that I end up not continuing, which would be such a bummer because I already got the other book. So it would be kind of a bummer if I ended up not continuing that series and moving on to something else. That makes me nervous. But also, I understand that this is just the way my body is. This is whatever I was raised with, like the traumas that I had to deal with. This is how it shaped my life. And the way growing up shaped my life, I don't do well with smut or spice. So that's what I'm carrying into 2026. I'm allowing myself to read what I enjoy and to not be so downtrodden by other people's opinions and to not be as discouraged to read. I think that's why a lot of times I do go into reading slumps, is because I get so discouraged because I feel like I have to read what people are telling me to read or what everybody else is reading. I would love to know, what are your guys' thoughts? What are your opinions? What are you going through? Tell me about your goals for 2026, reading-wise. Tell me about the apps that you're going to use. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe. like the video, all of those things to help the algorithm. And I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking around. And I will see you in the next one. It's going to be a really long one, so be prepared. I'm hoping that the next one is going to be a really long one. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.